That was kind of their initial thought, was just like there's some sort of avatar spirit type of thing going on, so the spirit must be mad. Like, hey, bye, like we've seen previously where they were kind of the same thing was happening. Like the spirits were mad because of burning down those trees. So they were taking people one by one. So I mean, it's the same situation. People are missing at night. Right. So like, something must be happening. But they couldn't find a reason, because it's like, this place looks beautiful. Like it's untouched. And then Toph's like, well, maybe the moon spirit's just changed and she's angry now or something.
And then Sokka says, the moon spirit is a beautiful and righteous lady who rules the skies with lunar goodness.
Yes. So definitely has to defend the moon.
Yeah. Because Toph has no idea anything about the moon spirit. So that's just funny to me, I guess.
Callback to the moon.
But so Katara meets Hama under the full moon, and simultaneously the gang talks to Old Man Ding, who basically tells them that it wasn't a spirit, it was a witch. That he knew that he saw this like witch who like was able to cast a spell on him that made him lose control of his limbs.
So he just lost control of everything, and then there was like his body, his limbs were just making him walk into a cave under the mountain. And it's just like right as he was getting to the edge of the cave, the sun rose. So he's like, oh, I got my control of my body again, and I hightailed it out of there. So then they kind of put the pieces together. It's like, wait a minute. It's like Toph thought she heard screaming from under the mountain. There's a cave under the mountain. So now they're kind of just like, people are trapped there.
Yeah. And at that exact same time, Hama kind of reveals that her ultimate ability is blood bending. So bending the water in another person's body to kind of exact your will onto them.
Yeah.
And so I kind of really like the way that this story was intentionally told. Hama has a lot of reasons to have done that, right? Like I was trapped. They were treating us like animals. We were malnourished. We were not hydrated. And so what I did, I learned how to control another person's body by bending the rats until it was time for me to release myself.
Sorry.
Yeah, well, from the cells. But then I'm like, so she releases herself. Was she the last waterbender like alive in the prison?
That's what I was going to say. I'm like, they held them for years on end, and they went to an extent to make sure, like they said, they were pumping hot air into there. Like when they gave them any amount of water, they were binding them. So like they went to an extent to make sure that they can, keep them as prisoners. But it's just like, why? Or why exactly did they feel like they needed to? And it's just like, and then what happened to everybody else? Because it does seem like she was the last one.
Yeah, and I also wonder, like, I guess this is a question for me, if you killed the airbenders, then why didn't you kill the water benders that you captured, that you were able to capture?
Yeah, exactly. Right? That was what I was kind of going with, where it's just like, why did you need to? I mean, it looks like they had to go to extreme extents to make sure that they, they can't bend. Yeah, exactly. So it's just like, and it's for years on end. So it's like, yeah, if they were okay with, killing the air nomads, like slaughtering them all, like, and you're trying, I don't know, like what was the point of keeping them for that long or torturing them for that long?
Yeah. Someone asked me a question recently, someone who was trying to get into the series, who had never seen it. They were like, oh, what's the series about? Because they heard about my podcast. And I told them what the series was about, and I said, yeah, and like the Avatar was never reborn into like the water tribes. And then they were like, but how did the Fire Nation know? And I was like, what?
Yeah.
They're like, how did they know that it was never like reborn?
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know.